Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, open this. Alright, I got some water in me. I am back from the desert. I went to Wasteland Weekend and now I have returned. Um, my throat's really scratchy from all the desert dust. But I'm back and I wanted to start getting spooky. So I got my wizard hat on. I got my little gothy vest on, and then I put this shirt on so I feel more like a Gandalf-y, hobbity look. I guess I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, um, we're done with September. We're into October, and I don't know how long I'm gonna go for now because I'm realizing how like super scratchy my voice is. And I got some big thing of bubbly water, but we'll see. We'll see. Um, so again, we're messing with Tauri. We migrated our application, what we've gotten done so far, from Electron to Tauri. It looks like it's working pretty well. And right now, we're going to try to work on this last bit that we didn't quite finish before Wasteland Weekend, which is the React Flow drag and drop. We'll just see if we get it working. Like, let's get the app going and then go from there, I suppose, right? Oh, oops. So make this nice and big so everyone could see. Big. That's not big enough. We want big. I said big. Big. There we go. Now everyone can see. So, we'll go into the app we're working on. Ooh, why did it not? Oh, it's just being slow. Right, okay, so we're into our folder here. Did not go into our folder for whatever reason. So we'll just try this again. No folder, Tauri. Oh, that's right, because our app's called Tingo. Sorry, trying to get my... And I think my goal right now is to see if I could stream to 8:30. But again, you know, with these evening streams, my brain's already fried from like a whole work day, and I'm tired and exhausted and old. So we'll just see how far we get. We just gotta just chip away at it. One nice thing that happened during my vacations, I ran into an old friend of mine. He just had a kid, which is great, and he told me, "Hey, Mike, I just got promoted at work. I did what you said. I wanted to learn some more about engineering. So I just started chipping away at the books, took a test, and was able to get to a higher advancement in this company, which is great. I'm really happy for him. So hopefully, if you guys see me persevere here, hopefully it'll inspire you to persevere as well. There's an old saying, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So you just gotta work hard. Alright, so we're LS here. So okay, so we're in our app, right? We're not in our app. Let's get to our app. Bingo. Hi, Acon. Hi, A-Money. Hi, T20. It's my tiki-takis. So let's get this going. So let's see, npm run dev, I think. I typed this right. Doop, doop, there we go. So now we're building out our local environment here for our app. I think I did the wrong command because it didn't build. Still seems to be doing something. Yeah, let's get out of this because I think it's npm run start. I think I just did the wrong command. Ooh, did not like that. Maybe it is npm run dev. Let's find out. Here is our code. Package. What's our commands in our package? We got dev, build, preview, Tauri. That's right. It's npm nop'em, npm run Tauri dev. There we go. Hi, Ryan. It's Swede. How are you back from the desert already? Yeah, it's spooky time. So I got my wizard hat on. I'm being a wizard. a Mr. Wizard. I tried to play some spooky music. I don't know if the spooky music's playing. So let's see if this builds. So we had started this in Electron to make it be a smaller build. I migrated it to Tauri, and I figured I'd do that earlier, sooner than later. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you got your teardown done by early afternoon. So this is our app so far. Essentially, it's just almost a to-do list as it is right now, but if we select on something like, say, Banana Project, we have these nodes. So the next part is we're going to try and add a little library here where we could drag and drop elements. It's basically input, output device. Right now you can see they're both showing inputs. So I got to fix that, but the idea is that you're going to be able to drag in like keyboard or, oops, that's another thing I do is disable the highlighting. Capybara core, yes. Capybara is the logo here. So I'm trying to build something that's kind of agnostic to events, and like select event on here will probably be like Neo or Wasteland or a LARP or something generic, and they'll just pull up applications for that kind of thing. So the MVP is basically the first. We're going to try and do 2 MVPs. First MVP is like with this tool here, you're going to be able to add a counter. So like it'd be on press of spacebar, increment a number, and then we'll also have another view which will look like Figma, which I haven't implemented yet. But you're going to have like different views here that you can jump between for your project. And then you'll just design a display where you'll show that number. You hit spacebar and the number will increment. That's MVP. And the next step would be like high score table is what I'm kind of aiming for. So then anyone can just take this to any event that they want to go to, and without knowing how to code, can just build a high score table or whatever presentation they want to do. Like another one would be like, oh, there goes my light. Ha! I taped it up. And it fell. Okay, don't fall this time, light. The light don't want to be good no more. There we go. Be good. Bouncing on my yoga ball. Hey, Bella. So yeah, so the idea is like we're just doing a logic engine that will run a presentation screen, and I'll probably make a few demos of like what those presentations could possibly be, and I'll just put it out in the wild and see what people do with it. So the last one I left off is I styled these nodes. This is just mock data, but the next step will be writing some endpoints to save these nodes onto your hard drive. Oh, there goes my light again. Ooh, that looks spooky though. I look spooky. It's spooky time. I don't think this light's gonna stay wherever I put it. Just put it up here. Or not. Wow, this is not going well. We just dangle it. There we go. That's good enough. It's spooky time. Yeah, so the idea is like you'll have this view, and then you'll have like a presentation builder, and you'll just be adding logic to your presentations. And this is just for like the use case is there's a lot of people at Neo that are like just showing off spreadsheets, and I'm like, this you could at least tie that in. And then, you know, once I get that element done, we could start, you know, tying in other pieces of the ecosystem. Ideally for the use case, like this is going to be offline first, but ideally you could back it up and like send data out to whatever network you're on. So maybe a Neo network, maybe it's whatever event network. I don't know in the future, but I wanted to start tackling at least one, you know, vertical of it. And it seems like the most interaction I've gotten from what, you know, the last couple of years of experience with this is if I give them a tool for like the front end stuff that's very minimal code, then people can use it. So that's where I'm kind of going with it. So yeah, so the next step is we're going to try and make a box right here, and then start dragging and dropping. So that is what's on our October list for right now. I think we're doing pretty good though. And then I do have almost an identical version of this in Electron, but this one's using Tauri. which is like the new kid on the block for making web apps for desktops. And there's a lot of promise there. They claim you could also like export to Android and iPhone, but looking into it, it seems like it's still the same holdups that you would have with what was the library I was looking at like 2 years ago? What was it? I forget the name. There's another. Oh no, that wasn't it. There's another library that like that holy grail is to make a web app that will just work on any device outside of like a web browser, and there's a lot of promises there, but nothing's quite just there yet. But anywho, so we're gonna start working on this drag and drop. I think we'll see how far we go. I'm just gonna do 2 hours tonight and see what happens. And I got my spooky hat on. And then the next time I do this, maybe I'll fix the lighting and make all this look more spooky. It's spooky. It's kind of weird because like there's supposed to be chat. Oh no, I am bumping everything with my hands today. It's supposed to be chat like way down there, but only the Twitch chat shows right now. So I don't know how good Twitch chat is for the Tiki Talkies. TikTok's interesting because like right now I have 48 people watching, and then you know how many TikTok people are watching? Zero. So I'm not TikTok. Twitch people, zero. So it's kind of interesting to see like this weird dynamic. Like TikTok just floods me with people, which is kind of interesting to me. And then none of them really chat, but it's like you're on your mobile phone. It's different than chatting on your desktop, I suppose. So, anyways, that's the dynamic right now. I'm gonna get to coding. Stop. Oh, and this is my little capybara icon. I love this icon. It's the greatest. It's the greatest little capybara icon. So yeah, that's where we're at. So let's write some code. Excuse me. So, there's a few things here, right? And I have to kind of get the lay of the land again because it's been a week. Is essentially what we got going on here is we have a few. I'm using React, and we have a few components here. One is this flow graph, and this is literally a wrapper for this grid right here. So we got that going on. This digests another component which we're calling FG node, and FG node is a custom thing we just created from flow graph node, and the node is essentially this guy right here. This box is a node. So this particular application calls these nodes, calls these lines edges, and I could actually like delete that line, but it's like on me to actually add additional GUI. So I may make it to like right now, see how it kind of highlights. I may make it so it'll pop up a menu like this guy. This menu is what I added right now, and I'll probably clean this up a bit because this should be more aligned properly. And someone's buzzing me. Who's buzzing me? No. So like this little drop down is something I added as well. But so next step is right now, like you see, I can't like delete this right now because this isn't really doing anything. This is just demo data. Like you can see the mock data right here, the initial nodes here. So I could write a function because right now it says on node change, run on node change. I don't really have it like saving that information just yet. So that's gonna be one thing I'm gonna have to do real soon is start saving that information per project. So like you open the project data, it'll load up the different nodes. Each little rule book is going to be like a set of node rules here. But right now I'm still just building out the functionality, and we want to be able to drag and drop. So example of that is, which is kind of funny because technically this is kind of an example in and of itself. This application may be actually using the same library I'm using for this guy right now. But you see how so like this I was looking at last. I literally left my computer on and went on vacation, and I just turned it back on and came back. So you can see this is where I was trying to get the tailwind to work, and it looks like I did do that. So the other thing is somewhere in here they may have an example of drag and drop. So we're gonna look at that. It's undoing it. But you see also like they have You could use their pro stuff, but we're too smart for that. We're gonna actually make our own. Be a little bit more work, but at least we'll be the owner of it. See, I'm looking at what's floating edges. Was this not going? There it goes. Neat. Drag and drop. There we are. So this is the drag and drop example for the library I'm using, React Flow. So you can see how there's like a totally different div right here. So like you can drag this in and it builds it. So this is what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna try and implement this guy. And then that should just build us a node. So that'll be our next step is building out this kind of box. And that box, what we want to do is basically, you see how it says core rulebooks, core rules. We're going to probably build another thing that just says like inputs and outputs, well, actually, I don't know if I'm going to do inputs and outputs. I may actually just put, I'm not sure. I guess because the idea is like, well, you know, I think it'd be a good idea to look at my Figma design that I was working on. Now that I think about it, if I have it, I don't think I have it open, so I'm gonna see if I could find it. Figma, log into Figma. And Figma, if you're not aware, is a design tool. Let me do this off screen. Doop doop, don't dox me. Please don't dox me. All right, so we're installed. So team blocks. There we are. This is what I have for the Figma design so far. So this is that initial screen that we were looking at. You can see like here, I have a concept of like you're gonna have different components that you're working on. High square table, presentation board, you know, etc., etc. But I believe splash. How do I had more than this design. How do I get to my other designs? I don't even remember. Let me go back. I don't think this is the right file. No, I guess it's this. I just remember. Oh, here, pages, duh. So you see how like right here we have displays, components, playbooks, and then I have components twice for whatever reason. I think this is supposed to say forms. Let's fix that. But I'm still kind of playing with the concepts of like, ooh, I screwed this up. What am I doing? What did I just do? Undo. What did I just do? Okay, let's not mess with that right now. Hi Dre, by the way. Basically the idea is like displays would be like your monitor, playbooks. You see like we have core rules, and that's kind of like in our app right now is core rule books. So I called it playbooks here, I called it rule books here. And I'm gonna probably add an icon. So I think what I'm trying to figure out right now is in this design, you see how I have like properties and layers on this side. So I don't know. Like the other thing is I can make this bigger, right? Oops. Oh no, I'm screwing up everything here. Tingle box, why are you so tiny? Oh, it doesn't want to stretch. Why doesn't it want to stretch? There we go. Bam. So like I could add in a whole nother bar on this side. And that's what I'm kind of debating right now is do I want to like just keep this side, you know, because right now we're working on rule books, but we're also gonna have displays. Like eventually we're gonna build all this out because all these are gonna be different parts. And then the concept was like if I go to playbooks here, so like initially I was gonna have just like a WYSIWYG, like kind of like you select the drop down to do your logic. So we're getting a little bit more exploratory of how we're gonna like build out the logic here. But like Um, okay, so I guess I didn't really have a concept of what pieces would be dragged in here. I do know that like I'm kind of going off of just the design of this, which is just a rules editor for um like online software. So this is like so there is like an existing model for this, and they just kind of have it. Um, you see how they have like a request response. So this is like our input and outputs, and then they have a function. So we like I'm debating on where I want these toolboxes. So like the in the existing design that I have, and I'm sorry, I hope this isn't too boring for you guys. I'm kind of just talking out my design here to myself more or less. So you see I have like a toolbar here, and this is kind of like the tools that you're gonna be dragging into this. And I lost a whole menu. What happened there? What did I must have hit something here. I feel like a whole thing disappeared here. What did I this guy's missing? Did that get moved off screen? What happened? What happened to my sidebar? Yeah, I did get moved off screen. How did I do that? Man, I am not doing great here. Anywho. So like I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing is like basically depending on what element you select on here, it's gonna open up a different editor here with tools on top and then like a sidebar if necessary to modify those properties. So I think what I might end up doing is just build out this toolbar next on the top of our app here. And I gotta figure out, I don't like that it's highlighting in blue right now. There we go. So I may just put like right here, see I have like this little icon, so it'd be like an input and an output and like a little piece of logic button, and then selecting that may create our nodes. And that may be the menu we use for this, which may be good because like essentially, um, when you click on here, that would be the idea as well, is that this would just dump onto this editor screen. So it'd be a similar the with UX UI, the more similar you can make your tools to each other, the more intuitive it is for the user. So like if I make this draggable here, like if I made it so you had to drag these icons on here for something to show up, it'd be confusing to them. Like if I had it so you just click here and then a node pops in. Whereas like right now, this kind of suggests that if you click on these guys, an element may pop into the center of this. So maybe that's what I want to do here. Um, what I was also thinking was adding like the toolbar to the bottom of the rule books here. So it would just be like a little menu bar that goes down here that you could just drag items from. Which is what I think I may end up doing. I think that's what I'm going to start off with. Is I'm just going to make another box right here inside this core rules, and I'll have the different icons that you could drag over. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so now that I got that decided, I think that's going to be our next step, is putting in the box right here with these icons that we could drag in our nodes, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so now that that's decided, we gotta go to our workspace screen, which is playbook view, right? So, let's look at playbook view. Excuse me. Hi, Delic. I don't know how you say your name. Delatic, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. So let me see where playbook view comes from. Playbook view right here, right? So it's just this column layout. Okay. Core rules. So that actually, oops, why am I just destroying everything here? Core rules, rule icon, column layout. So that's this block. So let's just say core rules. So that's this whole element here. Okay. I'm just trying to get a lay of the land here. So what we know is, let me close this README file. I don't know why that's open. Playbook view. So this is just the black part. That gets opened by workspace screen. Workspace screen has, yeah, staged elements here, core rules. Interesting. Okay. So I guess if we're doing the workspace screen, I think what I need to do is at some point we're gonna have different views, right? Because we have just this playbook view, and then we're gonna have yeah. Okay. So what we're sorry, I'm just kind of thinking this out to myself. I'm gonna make a note here. Right. So basically, we have staged elements, which is this playbook view, and then we have element menu here. So what's going to end up happening is there's going to be several views here as we click around. So like if we click on core rules, we see this. But if we click on core rules, what I want to happen is then show like another little menu here that just kind of pops up underneath core rules of like different things you could drag into this. So the next step is we're gonna create like a little sub menu bar to go under core rules. And my computer suddenly wants me to just do a restart. So let's get time here. Okay, I think we're good. Excuse me. Anywho, so now that we kind of have an idea of what we're gonna do, so you see like how up here I kind of have a switch. At some point I'm gonna do something similar down here, but I think right now we just have the word core rules. I'm gonna go look at our splash screen real quick, right? Because our splash screen, project, right, home view. So we're gonna look at home view. Again, like I haven't worked on this for weeks. I'm just trying to get my head wrapped around what the heck I was doing again. Menu item. So I think what we're going to do is where we have that span in our workspace screen, where it says core rules, we're going to replace that with a menu item, which should look basically the same as oh, we have a lot of elements here. And like you see how it says projects map? Eventually we're going to do something similar where we're going to map through all the different rules that you've created for your project. But for now we're just going to put the one as a placeholder. But I'm going to copy these properties in just so I could see them. Wow, I can't type at all anymore. Okay, project name is going to be core rules. I mean, not project name, the label. We have the backpack icon here. And then this is actually trying to do something. So for right now, we're just gonna make it just void out. So now if we look at this, we should see how it's like a little icon now? So we're gonna change that icon to match our design from Figma. So if we go back to Figma, we kind of have this book. So we're gonna look up our Figma. We're gonna use Radix. Radix icons is I think what we're using right now. So we're gonna look at that. We're gonna pick which one kind of corresponds to what we had, which I think was this file text guy. SVG copied to clipboard. I don't think we need that. I think we just need. I don't need the SVG. I think I just need the name. File text. Backpack icon. Where's backpack icon? Yeah. So I think we just need to say file text icon. Yeah, look, there it is right there. File text icon. And it's going to break. Because now it's trying to load something that isn't there. So now it's loading something that is there. So if we click on our banana project again, Oh, we broke a lot of things then. Let's see what else we broke. Cannot find backpack icon. So still looking for the backpack icon. Why is it looking for a backpack icon? Menu item, file text icon. Okay, here it says there's a line icon. Oh, because we're using it elsewhere. Well then, okay, so let's get rid of what we need to do instead is I thought we were just using it in the one place, but we're already using it in our modals. So we just need to do file text icon. So now we got file text icon in here. We'll go back down to this guy. File text icon should now just be file text icon. And then we'll go look at our application again, which we turned off. So we'll just, oh man, big words there. So we're gonna start it up again. Look how big that is. So it's bundling our app into like a mode. And you can see it's kind of tiny. I may go in and just make it big because now I'm kind of stretching out so we can fill up the screen here. So I'm going to pick a project, banana project. See, now we have a different icon here, core roles, right? And this does nothing, which is what we kind of wanted. So the next step is we gotta design some sort of like menu here underneath rule books. That's just like I'm thinking it'll kind of look like a drawer, like it kind of comes down a little bit, and it'll be like things you can add to your rule books. But like I don't know, because the thing is, it's like say you have like 5 different rules. Do we want the menu items to be down? I mean the UI to be down here, or do we want it in a fixed position? So like I'm kind of debating if I want to make it so that, why is my phone buzzing again? My apologies. Oh, never donate to political parties. They just never shut up. So now I'm wondering, and hello, Miss or Mr. Celestial. That's a cool name, Celestial. Now I'm wondering, we changed this guy, but like I'm wondering, should I not put it in this little menu thing, or because I'm really thinking maybe I do want like a second column over here with the menu items they can drop in. Because ideally, right, all we're trying to do is mimic. Oops, not that mimic. So let's close this. Quit. Roof and dock. Roof and dock. There we go. We're trying. We're trying to mimic this. I mean, this has it on this side, which is nice. But then, like the Go Rules example has it like. I think this looks a lot cleaner. I don't know if I want to call it components. So I kind of do like how this kind of looks. But I do feel like we kind of need a drawer of some sort. So let's look at Radix real quick. Let's see if Radix has like a drawer in its primitives. Nope. It does have an accordion. And the drop-down menu. So we might want a toggle group. I'm kind of debating that. Just like a few little buttons, but I think that may be, I think I may need to put a little bit more information there. Maybe I will just put a tool. Should we just toss in? Let's just toss in a toolbar. Because I'm kind of debate wanting a toolbar anyways. Let's just see how that works. I think that'll look nicer. I'm just concerned, right? So like let's look at our app. Because it starts off with like these up high here. And they don't start off centered. If it started off center, then I wouldn't mind like a toolbar right here. Maybe I'll put the toolbar at the bottom. Let's do that. Let's just stick the toolbar at the bottom. Let's just add a toolbar. What's the tail end here? Oh, we gotta add a few things here. Oh, maybe I don't need this config. Okay, so I think, yeah, I'm gonna start messing with this. So like, I don't need any of these icons here. So we'll just, we know we need toolbar. We already got React. So I'm just gonna see if I can get the toolbar to show up first, like the empty toolbar, and go from there. I think what I want is essentially like I think that's the way to go. So we're gonna add a toolbar into our playbook view. So it's actually gonna be part of the view here. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna try and toss it in before this provider here. So we're gonna add that at the top here, import toolbar. And we'll just add it in just the toolbar, which looks like it just needs this toolbar root. It does not like. Oh, that's copying the whole damn thing. I just want the line. I am a notorious copy paster because I suck at typing so bad. Oops. Not there, down here. There we go. So there's toolbar root. We'll just say banana. Banana. I just want to see what happens. So we're just seeing what happens at this point. Ooh, does it not? Oh, that's right. This needs. So with Radix, it's not the kitchen sink. We're trying to make this as light as possible. So if you look at package JSON, every Radix element we're using, you can see we have to input it separately. So that's gonna be our next move. Is we're actually gonna go and import this into our, not import, but install that into our build. cd dev Kingo. We'll do npm install. Oops, I don't think that's gonna work. Yeah, I gotta fix that. There we go. I got rid of the quote. Dang you! It's not gonna work again. But it worked, huh? We're gonna npm audit. I don't like there's very high vulnerability here. npm audit fix. So okay, so I think it's the npm audit again. I think that fixes it. So basically, since we're using a bunch of different libraries, you can see where it's like in red it says one high. That means that it's a security issue. And now we're fixed. So you can't see. Let me see if I can make this a little bit easier to read here for you guys. So right there it says found 0 vulnerability. So we're all good now. So we'll look at Tingo here. So now you see how like it's like, hey, I can't find it. So we're gonna close out. We go back here and we're gonna run our command again, nice and big, so you guys can see it. And I have one lone Twitch streamer viewer. I did meet one of my lone Twitch streamers. If it's who I talked to last week, welcome back. Hope you enjoy my definite Lemmer's method of trying to get things to work here, where I just try different pieces to see what fits. All right, so we're gonna click on banana. I just realized I misspelled banana. So look, there's our bar, but you see how like it's a different style than the rest of this. So we're gonna try restyle this bar. And then the other part is I kind of want it to float on top. So I'm going to mess. Well, I don't know. Maybe I don't want it to float on top. Maybe I do just want. No, we'll make it float on top. We'll make it float on top, and I may position it towards the bottom here. Hi, is it me? It might be. Hi, Boss Gaines. Were we talking in the desert the other day while I was eating some chili? If so, then yes, it was you. Thank you. It is spooky time, and this is the closest spooky hat I got. It's my wizard hat because I am a web wizard here of some sort. Um, and my Twitch viewers can see down here who I'm talking to for once. So I hope you enjoy that. Actually, it's up here on Twitch. It's down here on TikToks. It confuses me. I'm not used to streaming multi-stream yet, but yeah. Anywho, so we got that going. So let's see if we can clean that up and position it a little bit nicer. Right, so if we go back to our workspace screen, you saw that we just kind of copy pasted all these like elements to it. Wasn't that? It was actually our playbook view, right? Yeah. So like you see like right here with full, we don't want with full. Get rid of that. We don't want min with max. We don't want BG white. And we'll keep these other bits there for a sec just to see what happens. So yeah, so you see how it still has that weird shadow, but we kind of want this gray in there. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to look at the elements of our card. I wonder, well, I guess it won't work because ideally we'd have it look like the card. So let's look at our card. Very simple. We're just going to copy these guys here and put this into our playbook view here. Yeah, let's just get rid of all this guy. And it should look much more like our existing elements here. But you see how like it's not really looking like a card per se. So we're gonna look back at our card once again. So this is just that neutral P2 margin 2 drop shadow LG, drop shadow energy, rounded LG. I'm kind of curious why it's still doing full screen on this. And also I'm a little curious about, like, I guess this is a nice color because it's matching this card. But it should have like rounded corners at this point. So I'm gonna see if I can fix that. Where were we? Yeah. So playbook view. Yeah, because this doesn't say anything about rounded corners, huh? And our area level will be rule elements. Right. I think if I put absolute, it should go on top of everything. Yeah, look, it went on top of everything. And it's kind of interesting because you can see it has a bit of a opacity even, which is kind of curious. I think what I'm going to do now is we're going to just see what it looks like without any of these classes. Oops. Without any of these classes on there. Okay, so it's just going to be black and white, which is understandable. So we're going to add back in those classes. And then the next thing I'm going to do is what I'm curious about is there's some configs here. This is just trying to extend colors. I don't think we need any of this config. Like it's trying to do black alpha. I guess we might need to add black alpha, but we'll see. I don't think we need to. What I'm curious about though is where it's presenting right now. This does not look like a rounded edge at all. So I'll have to see what's up with that. Where is that coming from? Because I thought rounded LG. Did I not put that in? I wonder if I just did not add that in. Where were we? We were in playbook view, right? Yeah. Yeah, apparently I just completely left that out. So now we should have rounded corners. There's our rounded corners. Okay, so now we've got the menu kind of showing up there in the corner there. I think I want it kind of lower in center, so we're gonna work on that a little bit. And I think that's fine. That has like an opacity. I'm not quite sure how I want this to look. I do know in my original design here, in my Figma design, we had a similar element. If I can find my Figma, this guy right here, right? So I think I'm gonna make it a little bit bigger. Does this have the width and height? Yeah, this says 64 height. So I think I'm gonna try and model after this guy. So it's gonna be kind of bigger. Let's see if we can make it bigger. Um, Literally I could just do min h 64 pixels. And that should just automatically do it. So there's our automatic height, but I don't know if I like it like that. I don't know why I keep clicking. I'm like misclicking all night. Hi Andrea. I don't know if I said hi yet. So let's see if I could figure that out here. So I think what I'm gonna do is so background neutral. We want to make this kind of show up center. But I think it's absolute, but the problem is we want it center here. So my old way to do that would be just say, I don't know how you would do that in Tailwind. So the thing is, Tailwind's relatively new to me, so I'm going to look up how we do it in Tailwind. Center, Tailwind, center, absolute, position, element. What does the wisdom of the overflow say for us? Okay. This is very similar to like how I used to do it. This is, yeah, I'm gonna try this because this is like the old school way of doing it. This guy says new version, you don't need to do that. I don't think this guy knows what he's talking about. We're just gonna give this a go. See if it centers it. So where I put the word absolute, I'm gonna get rid of absolute here. Because I think what we want is just this. But see, it says top 1/2. I may get rid of that top 1/2. Because we only really just want it like down. Yeah, see how it's like centered? It's trying to be centered, but it's centered to the last relative item. So I think what I need to do is in this div, I may need to put the relative. And hopefully, yeah. So now it should be centered to our box here. Because the way that absolute works is it's centered to the most recent relative parent element. So yeah, so we don't want our menu to always be on the top here. We want it to be centered here. So that's going to be getting rid of this top 1/2. I think we could just do, well, we'll look up top. Because really we just want, I think, well, I guess we want top 20. Oh no! Camera down! Camera down! I bumped the camera. I am doing great tonight, guys. All the technical issues. I bumped my light before, and now I bumped the camera. Everything's just going perfect. I don't know. I don't know why I can't get it to align. Maybe right there. I'm in camera view, right? Anywho, the most important part is you can see my wizard hat. That's all I really care about. You gotta see the wizard hat. Okay, so what was I typing? Yeah, top 20. I think I could just do this. 10 pixels. And then that should be 10 pixels off from the top, but like that's not enough. We'll do 20 pixels. What's that? Ooh, now we broke everything. Oh, what did I do? How did I do that? I must have not hit. Oh, it's highlighting everything. That's still... Do I need to do top 40 pixels? I guess so, because I guess it's the height. Because we're saying 64 here, so I may need to just do top 64 pixels. Right? Okay, 64 is definitely too much. So we'll just put it back to, put 32. Half that. Okay, so yeah, that's better. So it's kind of aligned now. You can see like how it's like kind of... That looks about right to me. That's where I want it. But see, the problem now is you see it's behind our nodes. We want it above the nodes. So that'll be the next thing we look at for this item. So I said I was gonna do drag and drop, but I think I'm just gonna do a click menu. So you click on the item and it'll just pop in there as a node. Because I don't think I want it. I think it's gonna be a limited number of things. If it was like an infinite number of things, we put it here, but it's gonna be like just an input, an output, and there's gonna be like a function here. So we'll just have it just float. I think that's fine. That should be fine. Okay, so right now it just has the word banana, but like what else do we need to do to this guy? Because it's kind of there, but it's not. Oh, we're gonna fix the Z index, right? So let's look at tailwind Z index. Tailwind, how do we do Z index? Oh, we just put Z. Okay. So I guess the other thing I gotta figure out then is what is the Z index on this guy? So let's find that out. We will inspect. We'll inspect our dude here. What is this? Okay, so this is okay. What is the parent element? This is all okay. So you see here is this position absolute. So this should tell us the Z index. Well, you know, we're just gonna cheat though. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna put the toolbar underneath the React flow, like so. And what that will do is, since it's the way that it renders is basically goes from top to bottom. So the bottom things are actually going to stack on top of the previous rendered things, unless you specify a proper Z index. So now that we did that, I just want, yeah. So now it's just automatically going to be on top, right? So there's some fanciness that you've learned tonight. Hey, look. So now that we put it on top, look, the opacity there's already changed for us too, because I guess what was happening was it was going beneath this guy, and that must have an opacity that was making this dark. So now this is looking really nice. This is very much what I wanted. If we look back to our design, right? Let's look back at our design. Was this Figma? Yeah. So yeah, it looks exactly it. So now we just want to have some white icons there, nice and big. See how well we can do that. So now let's clean this up a bit. So what I think I'm gonna do is excuse me, I think we're going to end up using this toolbar a few times, because look, we're basing it off of this design. This is the display design. This isn't even a part of the view that we're building right now. We're building out this view, right? We kind of deviated from this what we wanted to do here. So I think what the next step's going to be is we're going to make this into its own component, and that way we can reuse it when we get to this page. Hi Jessica, by the way. I hope you're having a good night. I am a magical code wizard tonight because it's spooky time and I wanted to wear my spooky hat. And we're building out this app where we're going to build kind of like a slideshow software, but with some logic to it. So right now we're working on the logic view where you can just kind of drag and drop some of the, I say drag and drop, but it's going to be, I think what we're going to end up doing is you're just going to click on the elements and it's just going to pop in there. So I think that's what we're going to do. So yeah, so this is going to be the toolbar. So I think that's going to be our next step, is make its own component. So what I have, I kind of cheat. I wrote out like a little placeholder component just so I could do, I could just fill it in. Toolbar. I guess that would be one word. Toolbar. Toolbar menu. Toss that in there, right? And then we're gonna go back to our workspace screen, and we're gonna take all this stuff here. What are we? I guess it's in playbook view, huh? Playbook view, and it's gonna be just this toolbar root. And that's going to go into our toolbar menu. And then it says children here, we're going to say screw that. It's just going to be this guy. That's a lie, because we're going to actually put the children still back in. So now it's going to be just this, mostly this menu. And then I guess the other thing we would do now is we have ARIA label, so we probably just put label. What can I type? Oh, this thing's off. It's annoying. Okay, whatever. Label. It's gonna be optional, and it's gonna be a string. So we're kind of defining what that's gonna be. And we'll say label here. Label string. Label here is going to equal. You can put in some defaults by defining it there, so we do that. And then we'll say ARIA label is label. Oops, not an array. Property. And you see here, it's like, oh, you don't have toolbar defined, and that's because we didn't define it here. So we got to actually take it out here. We're gonna gut it. Be like, get out of here. Go toolbar menu, toss it in here. Bam. Right. So now we made our own component that's essentially just a copy of what we did elsewhere. So now we're going to import it back into here. So we're going to do import toolbar. The other thing I just screwed up was I left this called blank. Toolbar menu. Ooh, what did I just hit? My goodness, I am just butterfingers tonight. Toolbar menu props. Toolbar menu props. There we go. Now I should be able to be imported. So import toolbar menu with space there. From toolbar menu. Yeah. And then what we're going to do then is down here, we have toolbar root, we're going to say toolbar menu. But what we're also going to do is one, we're going to still put in the word banana. And then we're going to give it some properties. And the only property we have right now is label. And that's going to be rules menu. I forget what we had before, but that's what we're going to call it now. And then we're going to get rid of this guy, because this guy no longer exists. So this essentially should make it look exactly the same as what we had before. So click on Banana Project, and yeah, there it is, banana. And it's driving me nuts that I misspelled banana in there, so I'm going to edit that real quick. Banana. Let's go. So now we're Banana Project. If it close out, Banana Project. So that's the only thing I need to do is make it, when we edit this updates here. Yes, sir. Okay, so we got a placeholder for our menu items. So I think we're gonna make 3 menu items. It's gonna be inputs, outputs, and functions. And then when we click on those, either it's gonna do like a drop down, or it may just dump it onto this. It may just dump it in there. Is what I'm thinking. We'll see. We'll figure this out. And my phone keeps going crazy. I don't know why my phone keeps going crazy. Yeah. So, that's the next step. Is so we have these little tiny icons. We're trying to make those bigger. And let's look at we're gonna look back at our radix library. If I can find that, not that dude. Is this the same thing? Yeah, let's close one of these guys. I think we need that. Yeah, here it is. So you see how we have like some icons here. I think that's what we're going to add. So let's take a look here. They're just called icons. How is these added? So there's toggle items. We don't want a toggle item. We actually just want. Well, that's fine. That button's just a link. We kind of just want just a regular button, but let's see how this works. Toggle item, toggle item, toggle item. I guess we'll just add it as a regular button at the bottom here, right? Toggle button, share. This is toggle group. Yeah, I guess we're just gonna do toolbar button, right? So let's just toss that in there. I'm just checking to see. It looks like we just load everything from toolbar, so that'll be fine. Um, so in this case, what ends up happening is we're gonna actually just get rid of this part. Do this. We kind of need to think about this because basically, if we're going to reuse toolbar menu, we should be able to toss in an array of different values here. So we'll just say toolbar menu options here. And we're doing this in a parent component because ideally this should have no logic of like what those buttons could be. We don't want to say like hey, let's make all the different menus buttons within toolbar menu. We want to just pass in a property of it, which is just literally just going to be menu items, and it's going to be an object. And then based off of that object, it's going to iterate through them. Actually, maybe it should be an array. Let's make it an array. It's going to be an array of objects. I'm just making this up as I go along, kids. Right. So here we have that. We're actually going to pass this in if it's this way. All right. So this is an array. This is just I misspelled items. Ha! I'm a genius. There we go. Tool menu items toolbar. Toolbar menu items. Toolbar menu items. My throat's going. It's Casey Smith. Hi, Casey Smith. I think I know you. So rules menu, menu items, toolbar menu items, toolbar menu items. Let's see here. Going to figure out what our items are. So we have an object. It's going to have an icon, right? Blah blah blah. It's going to have a label. Actually, it's not going to have a label. None of these buttons have labels, huh? Right? I guess you could put I guess we'll give it like if you highlight over, it'll say what it is. These don't do that, but I think that'd be helpful. Blah blah blah. So we do icon, label. No, not the. It's just. I just want jump there. I guess it's gonna be a string, so I guess I could put it as a string. This is gonna be a React element. Let's put a little node element there. Oh, it doesn't like that. I guess don't put all the strings for now. Icon, a label, and then an action, which is going to probably be some sort of function. And then, right, so I guess the other option is, well, we could get complicated as we go, because look, there's different, like, we get these toggle buttons, so I could say it's a toggle button, I could say, so I guess I could give it a type, right, because these guys, so you see how it has like a value and a label, so we got toggle item as one type, toggle group, and then the toggle group has its own objects here, right, so it looks like this group. Interesting. So you see this group doesn't seem to group. These icons don't have, these icons just have values. So I guess that's the other thing we're going to have to put in there is action, label, and value. I could do, yeah, I think it's just, we're going to actually take out action because we'll just put value. And I'll tell you why, because what we're going to do is we're going to have this be the actions. We'll have it separate. So they're all going to do the same action, and then they're going to do this, the action that's going to end up doing is based off of the value that it gives. I think that's what we're going to end up doing. So I think that's what we're doing here. So icon label value. What other properties do we have here? I think I'm going to do a type. Because we basically have like 4 different types. We have button, toggle item, toggle group. Wait, is there only toggle groups? Separator. I guess there's. Okay, these toggle items seem to do act different than the rest. Type multiple. So okay, so the toggle groups could be type multiple, or they could be type single of a default. So we could, okay, so we have one group, we have another group, we have some text, which is a link, and then we have a button. How is that button know to be at the very edge there, though? Toolbar button, toolbar button. Margin left, auto. Okay, that's probably how it knows. Plus the classes to it. So we could get pretty crazy with this. I don't think we're gonna get too crazy right now. I think we're just gonna keep it simple. I think, yeah, because I think what we're gonna do is give it a group name, and then essentially it's just gonna go through and iterate. We're gonna map through these, and when we put the buttons, if it's in a group, it's gonna just get tossed into a. It's gonna be dumped in on the group. If it's not in the group, it's gonna be put elsewhere. So I guess it's gonna be sorted at some point. Like we'll just do filters. It'll be a little bit more complicated than it needs to be, but I think it'll be helpful in the end. So I think those are gonna be the values we're gonna use: icon, label, value, and group. I think though I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'll get right back to it. With building out this little menu. So just so you guys are all on the same page, what we're trying to do right now is this menu here that's empty right now is going to be representative of this kind of menu. So we're just making some buttons with these icons. It's not going to be these icons per se. It's going to be icons that will be more reminiscent of these Go rules. So be input, output, and a function. I think is what we're going to do today. And I may end up adding a switch. And essentially, you could click on those, and it's just going to drop these elements into our editable screen. And yeah, that's where we're going to do that in a little bit after I take like a 5-minute break. So hope you guys stick around for a little bit. I'll be right back. BRB. Wrong screen. There we go. Oh man, look at this wizard hat. I love this wizard hat. It's so silly. Okay, so I had to respond to some messages. Now we're good to go. Anywho, so like I said, we're gonna be working on trying to get that menu in there. So I think the next step is, excuse me. Let's see what time we're at. Okay, so I'm probably gonna go for another like 45 minutes or so. So let's see if we get this just working. So menu items is toolbar menu items. You see how it's like red there? It's letting me know that, hey, you didn't define what a toolbar menu item is. So we're gonna do that. Toolbar menu item. Actually, we're not gonna, it's gonna, yeah, have to pass something in. Toolbar menu items is gonna be, why can't I type? I can never type. I can never type. Toolbar. 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 An array of toolbar menu items. And it's going to be like, what is a toolbar? Toolbar menu item. So now we're going to tell it what a toolbar type. So we say type. Ooh, that's too high. Type. Toolbar menu item. And you know what it is? It's literally what we wrote right here. Oops, not right there, right here. Yeah. Is these guys. So go back here. And we're going to say icon. Icon's going to be optional. And this is going to be a React element. Label's going to be a string. That's going to be optional. Value is going to be a string. Am I not doing this right? Oh. There we are. Group is, oh, why did I hit something and didn't like that. Our group is going to be a string. So it's just going to be HTML element and a bunch of strings. And then group's definitely going to be optional. String, 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 string. Value string, label string. That seems right. So it's going to be an icon or a label with a string. And then I think if it's a label, well, they're all going to be buttons. But I think we wanted to do that. So yeah, it's basically toolbar menu items. It's going to be an array of these guys, objects of these. So that makes sense, right? Ooh. I hope I can make it for another 45 minutes. I'm starting to feel a little sick. Being out in the desert, going to a convention does not help with your health. Or your wizardry. I need like a wizard. You know what? I'm going to get my... Hold up. If I'm going to nerd out, I'm going to nerd out. I gotta get my sword out. See if I chop my hands off of this. Okay. So you see, I'm going to use it as a pointer on the screen if I can figure this out. So you see... Oh man, this is a bad idea all over. Right there in the code. Can't scroll down. It's not working. This is a terrible idea. Let's move this down. There we go. So you see like this part of the code that you can't see with my sword now. I'm trying to point with the sword, but the sword's too big. And I'm pointing the wrong direction. I forget how this works. There we go. So you see like this bit right here, that is the props. So we've kind of defined our props here, and I'm going to put the sword away because that, I thought it would work as a pointer. It is not a good pointer. It is pointy, but it's a bad pointer. Maybe if I ever get a bigger... Also, if you ever get married, give your groomsmen swords. It's pretty badass. Then you always feel like you're like a best man because you got a sword. How awesome is that? Okay, so anywho, now that I've been silly, more sword. I only have the one sword. I gotta get more friends married to give me swords, I guess. Um, so yeah, that way. And the camera's backwards. I gotta fix that. So, anyways, we kind of defined our types here for our interface, and this isn't even TypeScript per se. This is just props for React. So it's a little different. Um, what do we want to do now? So right here where it says children, we're gonna leave children in there. We're gonna clean this up a little bit because it's kind of hard to read. So that's, we need those. I'm kind of on the fence about I don't know, there goes the, geez Louise, I am just screwing everything up tonight. I didn't want to get a new oh, that's right, I do have a, okay, so I just remembered that I actually have a stand for this camera, so I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Anywho, oh, this got turned. Twink. That's a little better. Now that I'm just being a big messy wizard programmer guy, we're gonna keep the children there, but then before that we're gonna try and map through well, one, we're also gonna pull in toolbar menu items, so let's do that, and that's gonna be default to empty array just so we don't break our app here. And then we're gonna do toolbar and items map. And then I'm actually going to look back at our splash screen, which I believe is just home view, right? Yeah, okay. That's how I was doing it. I was just making sure I was following a certain pattern. I just did map, item. So this would be menu item. I guess I'll toss in menu item, index, does that, return object. And I always type in retrun because I am dyslexic as hell. The more I code, the more I realize how horribly dyslexic I am. So we don't need, yeah, we just need that. We need that. Right? Does that look right? Let's look back at home view. We got the element, we got the return, we got, oh, we need a closing bracket. That's what's screwing it up. I knew it was freaking something. Closing bracket. It was telling us that too, because like you can see in my editor, it's red right here saying, hey, you forgot your bracket. But I just don't listen to it sometimes. I'm just not that good. Not a good communicator with my IDE. Oh man, we got all the Wastelanders here tonight. Must be, people must be like hitting the socials, see their photos of themselves. Okay, so we got the return here. So basically for every menu item, we want to show a toolbar button. So we'll go toolbar. I believe it's just button. Toolbar button. And then we're going to say icon. If there's icon. And if there's not icon, we're going to say label. And well, the other thing we're going to do is icon and this is just kind of a weird hack. We're just going to leave a space. Actually, we're going to do icon and label and so if there's an icon and there's a label, display a space, and then we're just going to just do label, which is kind of a weird way to do it, but if there's both, we want a space between the icon and the label. Otherwise, we want just the icon. It cannot find name icon because I forgot to import it. So let's import that as well. Icon. There we go. So for every element that we pass in here, we should get a toolbar button. The other thing I want to look at is I'm not using the value from that, so we're going to look at how that's going again because we're using this radix library here. So we got toggle item, And I might change it to a toggle item. But I think what I'm going to do is just keep it as a button. But I do want it to match my design with just like a big button. So we'll mess with that in a minute or two. So toolbar button. This one doesn't have a value. So this one, toolbar link, has actual link values. Huh. I don't know if toolbar button will allow you to. I must have some properties. Let's see if we could sniff out the properties here. So one way we could do that is we could just say toolbar value equals empty, and then this could be value. The other thing I just noticed is what I also got to do is tell it to actually use these values the way I have it. So we need icon, label, and value, and those will all come from menu item. Because menu item is objects. We gotta say, hey, if we use these names here, we're not gonna dot in. These will be the values. So it looks like I could just do value equals value. So we'll see what happens on that. It doesn't seem to have much logic there. I don't know what's going on there, so we'll find out. Right, so if we look at our builder right now, it should just be a little empty box with nothing in it. There's an empty box with nothing in it. It's just a little sliver. So the next step is, and then since we're going to have multiple items, usually what you have to do is give it a key. And this is just helps React render it properly. So all I usually do is I just make it, you can't just make it the index, which is annoying. So you gotta make it like a value plus the index. So for this case, we're just gonna say button underscore, and then we can do string interpolation label, and then we're gonna do another part, which is gonna be index. So bare minimum, I'll say button 1, button 2, button 3, and then if there's a label, so it'll be button value. I mean button I don't know, save icon, and then that. So the more schmutz we put into the key, the better. And then we put icon here. That was a mistake. We're not pulling it. Pulling in icon down here. So clean that up as well. So that should at least do something. And I'm gonna break this down so it's easier to read. Ooh, also, I'm gonna move this back up because we're not playing with the sword anymore. I'm sorry. My apologies. And we can make this a little bit better for you guys. There we go. Easier for you guys to see. I get like laser focused on the line, so I'm not even paying attention to what I put. Okay, so there. So now basically I'll just iterate through our menu props and build out buttons. So now we're gonna go back to our playbook view, and now you see how I have like different items here. So we're gonna not have labels. So we're gonna say value input group. There's gonna be no group, so I think we're just gonna do icons and inputs. Excuse me. So right now we really just want 3 different icons, right? So we want that. We want input, we want output, and then we want function. I guess is what we want. And then we're gonna actually name the icons here. Are we loading in React icons here? Nope. So we're gonna do input. Well, we'll put it. So these are custom. All these custom components here. So we'll put it under this React flow provider. Our custom components. So where would that be? Playbook view. I'm just trying to find. No. I need that. Home view has it, maybe? Yeah. I just didn't know the path of the icons off the top of my head. So we're not using backpack icon or mix icon. We're gonna look back at our icon library and Radix. Oh, yeah, my throat's starting to feel kind of, from all this talking, It's starting to feel a little scratchy, so we'll see. I'm at an hour and 30 minutes so far, so I'm gonna try and hit another half an hour, but then I may have to take a break. But I'd love to get this little component done tonight. So, ideally, what I wanted to do, I'm a little bummed out because most of these icon libraries have it, is if we look at our Go rules, it's the circle in and circle out. That's kind of like a standard input output icon. But the Radix icon, for whatever reason, does not have that. They have, external link, enter and exit. So I've been using these enter and exits. But I don't see why they don't have, the input outputs. So it is what it is. I may end up switching it later, but we're just trying to build a POC. And we're building like way beyond what's necessary for a POC. So I think, I'm just going to cut the time that I can by just using these enter and exit icons. So we know that they're just called enter icon, exit icon. Input is going to be enter icon, closing bracket, exit icon with closing bracket. And then that leaves us with what are we going to have be our function icon? That's a good question. So I think there's some sort of like math icon here, right? We got arrows, we got typography, we got music, we got abstract. So it's probably under this abstract. So I might just use this guy. That's commit. So they have some git, share, accessibility. Man, I don't see. Huh. And they got some logos. Maybe there's something here I could use. Might use the lightning bolt. If I don't see something that just looks like, hey, this is a formula. It's kind of weird they don't have like the formula icon. They have links, they have chats, because this is all objects. More linking, trash can, bookmark. Why don't they have? Why don't they have? Do they have a design looking icon? I might just use component 1. That might be what I end up using here. Because I'm not seeing anything, or I may just use code. Code, I guess, makes the most sense, right? Because ideally we want like a math icon, but yeah, I guess I'm going to use code. Yeah, code is what we're going to use. That's annoying, but it is what it is. We'll probably make our own custom icons later. But we just want to get something going for tonight. So we have code icon, right? So we're passing these in. So now that we got the icons in there, and then so I also got to add it here, code icon. Hypothetically, if I spell it right, I don't undo everything else. Code icon, inner icon. Oh, what the? I need to get like a real keyboard because I keep fat fingering everything. There we go. Let's see here. So now we should have, if I click on banana project, no, it didn't load. Well, that's weird. Why did I not pass in? I don't think, okay, menu items. I guess, I bet you I called it toolbar menu items, right? Toolbar menu items. Toolbar menu items is toolbar menu items. And then action does nothing right now, so we'll just get rid of it. That should work. What do we got going now? Yay, there we go. So now we got some icons in there. They look tiny though, right? Those are our buttons. They do absolutely nothing. Very strange. So we're gonna have to play with the layout of our buttons here. We want them to be nice and big. And we want them to look like buttons a little bit. We want them to have like a hover state. So we're gonna have to play with the design a little bit. Right. I'm curious. Let's look back at our this guy. Right. Okay. So what annoys me with this is like there's no cursor over it. But there is a highlight state. So I think we're gonna have to look at do these have a highlight state? We have hover cursor pointer, so it's supposed to do it. Doesn't seem to be doing it. What is it? Toolbar link. Oh, only on this guy does it do it. That's dumb. So our share icon has it has a focus color and it has a hover color. So you see how like it got bigger when I clicked on it? That's the focus. You see how it's changing a color? That's the hover. So I guess that's the next step is we're going to try and fix that on our buttons. So like, okay, if we look back at our design, I have this open many times now. Yeah, I have it open all the time. If we look back at our Figma, ideally we just want the buttons to be white and nice and big and like visible. So I think that's gonna be our next step is let's make the icons just nice and big. So to do that, I've done that elsewhere. I just don't remember where. Well, look, I said that and I'm seeing it right here. It is dashboard icons. Let's try. Oh, but dashboard icon I made. So that's probably what's right. No, it's a radix icon. Okay, so this method should work. Setting them in width and min height. We'll go back to our toolbar menu. So it's kind of annoying because essentially, what's annoying for me now is to make the icons nice and big. I would have to okay, so right now we have playbook view, right? So like basically for all of these, the easiest way for right now to make them nice and big is do it per element here, and I kind of don't want to do that. I just want to toss in the icon and have the build itself do that. So the other way we could get around that, one, I'm just gonna see if that worked real quick. Yeah, so let's see how we have a nice big icon now. That's what we want. The way to get around that is what I'm learning in Tailwind is if we get rid of this, what we can do is in our toolbar menu and our toolbar button, we could put in the class style here. But I don't remember off the top of my head. There was a prefix that you could add. We'll put it in here. And what this will do is be tiny icons that spaced out. Yeah, so now icons spaced out. But there's a prefix that we could add to the Tailwind element. I don't know if it was like child, something like that, and it did it. But let's see if that does it. Oops, no, it did not. So I gotta find. Well, we'll just do a search real quick. I bet you it's really. Let's see, children. Spacing, borders, core concepts. Styling direct children. Is it just asterisk? I guess it's just asterisk. Like, let's try that. So instead of the word child I put in here, I guess we just put an asterisk. So let's see if this works. Asterisk. And then that should just make it. There we go. So that's what we wanted. We got nice big icons now. This is a little too big though. I don't want them 50. I want them to be probably like 36 would be good. Let's actually look at our design. But now we have three icons there. They don't have any rounded, like I want a hover state to them. I do enjoy that they actually have the arrow, the element that makes it looks like they're the cursor on there. Well, they actually look like they should be clickable. So then we're gonna add a hover state to it, and then we're probably gonna add some sort of click state, and then we'll add the functionality later. I was hoping to get to functionality tonight, but I think this is fine. This is more or less what we wanted. So basically the next step for when I come back on is when you click on this guy, it'll just drop a new node in here. That's the input node. And when you click on this guy, it'll drop an output node, which is what we're seeing right here. So you just keep adding output nodes if necessary. And then if you click on this guy, it'll be the function. And we'll go from there. We may add more rules as we go along, but I think that's kind of cool. That's a nice little hovery menu to go on top of everything, and it's a different color and it has a little bit of a drop shadow. I may make the drop shadow stronger, but yeah, I think the next steps is we're just gonna make these look more like buttons and probably space them out a little bit. But I think also 50 is too big, so we're gonna drop in the we're gonna look at our design real quick because I like the size of the design. Figma, yeah, what size is this? Also, because this is kind of small to begin with. So this is 64, 40. Yeah, so these are all 50, so just drop them down to 40. 40, by the way, is the minimal size you should make your buttons for mobile. If you ever end up developing for a mobile device. Okay, so we got that. So we look at these. Yeah, it's more of a nicer size now. Make this a little wider. There we go. Yeah, I think that looks cool. I need some more water. My throat's like blah. Okay, so we got our icons for now. We gotta make them look more like buttons and not just like some weird symbols on the screen. So let's do that. Let's make them look like buttons. So I'm gonna clean this up a little bit by dropping each property to its own line. Make it a little bit more legible, because the thing is with these class names, you can see they kind of get really long. They kind of go overboard. Also, like I'm not consistent with quotes here. I'm doing single quotes some places, double quotes elsewhere, so I gotta clean it up. It's twitchy. I am working on an app. Thank you. I'm a web wizard tonight. I'm a code wizard. I got my code wizard hat on because it's spooky time. Yes. So, what was I gonna say? I am making an application that's supposed to help people. One, it's offline first, where essentially, what's going to be. So this is like the splash screen, is you could create projects which will just be like presentations. So I may even change the word from project to presentation. I'm not sure yet. But basically, it's an app where you make presentations and projects, and it has a rules engine. They can make rules for your project. So like the MVP will be like you'll. I have a Figma them. I kind of have a design here. Let me see if I can pull that up. Where is this guy? Yeah. So this is like one of the views that I haven't built yet. Is like, welcome to my pizza party. Is like this is your slide, and you see like you can put text, image, a table, or like a form, and you'll build these slides out, and then you'll be able to write the logic for those slides. So it's not just like, hit spacebar, go to next slide. It'll be more dynamic. Like it may be like, if this hotkey is pressed, go to the screen. The goal is make it so it's more for like parties and games. So there'll be like, if you do like one thing I may end up doing is make it so like maybe you want to do like a quiz show. You can just build this slideshow to work as a quiz show, or the MVP will just be a now serving screen where like if you hit spacebar, the screen will be now serving. And you can see like I write on this design here, I've displays big screen. So the idea is that you could do multiple screens. So just like in Discord, you could just pop up the screen, slide it to a new monitor, show it full screen, so they won't see the laptop. It'll just be whatever presentation you want. So I did this is a bit of a presentation software where you're writing in the rules to how that presentation is presented. So that's the idea. Like the other thing is like I'm probably gonna build in like a tournament bracket. I'm just gonna build in like little things that that when I say build, I'm gonna build examples. That's what these templates are. So you could just use like I want a tournament bracket template. I didn't know you could do that in Discord. You could do some of those things. You could basically Discord is using Chromium. So if you could do it in a web browser, you could do it in Discord. I'm switching over to Tauri. I was doing uh, Electron. Electron is just a wrapper for Chromium. So Tauri is basically WebKit. So if you could do it on WebKit, you could probably do it. So like, just like how you could just open up full screen on a website to watch a movie, you could do that with this app or any uh, Chromium. I mean any Electron or Tauri apps. So that's the goal. Is we're gonna make it so I have multiple inputs and then multiple outputs. The other thing I want to do is make it so like if I go back to my design here, um, you can modify like users. So like you have different collections of data. So like a seating chart. You may want to have different people on a seating chart, and you hit spacebar and it'll just randomly generate a new seating chart. You know, things like that. So there'll be like data on the fly. So the app right now, this right here, this is actually in a database that's only unique to this application. So it's not even going to the web to grab the data. The data is always on your machine first, is the goal. So like the idea is like you could use this in places where you don't have the internet. Like you can see my little icon here. It's like maybe you want it for a sports game, you can use it for a sports game. But me and you both know that like a lot of my friends are doing Wasteland and Neotropolis. So the idea is that this would be something they could use for that. Um, and then as you can see, like there's going to be some design tools available. I think right now, like I just have it very clean. But you know, properties with height, layers. Um, they'll have like kind of like almost like this Figma design, but simpler as MVP. You're going to tell me that only requires a string or two. Yeah, so the goal would be, well, two things. One is you could create a new one from scratch, or I'm going to provide templates that people could just change the colors and change the logos and things. So even if you don't know how to do it, or if you're too lazy to kind of think the logic through, you'll have some examples. So you'll click create from a template, and I'll go to this screen and make do multiple tabs up here of the different games or whatever, and then the rule books will be already written out for you, and you don't have to do anything. It'll just be there. I'm gonna make right now. There's this button, but I'm gonna have like a little launch pad button here. So you click that, and that'll just launch your little project for you. And then the idea too is like you might have multiple projects open running at the same time and then sharing the data. So like if like say an example would be if you're oh, good night Max. I think I missed you leaving. My bad. Um if I forgot what I was saying now. Um So like if you have like a person using it to do a quiz show, and then maybe they got points, and maybe you have like you need 20 points to unlock a video somewhere. They can then spend their points in this ecosystem that's just local to you, um, to do something with one of your other presentations. So like the idea is like this could run like different party games for your party, uh, or it could just do the one thing. Like you may have um, a tournament bracket, and then you may have another screen where people could just log themselves into the tournament. Like maybe a touchpad screen or something would be another option. So you can have like multiple kiosks running off the same set of applications. Right now, from what I've been told, like it could probably run about 1,000 kiosks at once. Um, so that should be good. Like the main problem is how are people going to use this? Like if they want to bring out their own server, this will work for like a Linux machine, so they could just have like Arduino running everything if they want, and then have everything plugged into that. This isn't Wi-Fi yet. Um, yeah, like only like because it like when the I'm using I forget what it's called. Let me look at what it's called here. That's not it. You know you're doing a good job where like your Figma design looks like your application, so you think you're still in your application. Um, Anywho, I'm trying to look at the name of the. What am I using? Might not be in this one. It might be in my Tauri config. So I have two sets of configs. One's for like the back end, which is Rust, which is really fast, and then we have the front end, which is Node, which is JavaScript. Is it Cargo? Cargo should tell me. What am I using? What are we using? I need to clean that up. It's not just a Tauri app. SQLite. That's what it is. So we have a SQLite database, which basically it's a little limited in how we could save the data, but it should be able to do a lot of operations really fast. So it should be, since the idea is like this isn't computers talking to computers, this is almost always going to be a user interfacing with a computer. That's slow enough that it should be fine. And then if we have issues, we could I'm not worried about scalability at this point. I just want to get MVP out and let people play with it. So I think right here, I'm going to just call it presentation app with brains. I think that's a good description of it for right now. My name in there. It's 2024. Okay, so we updated some of that stuff. Oh, cool. Well, I'm glad you got some pictures. I'll be excited to see that later. Yeah, I'm about almost done here. I think I got 10 more minutes. So I'm gonna try and clean up my icons a little bit, and then that might be all I do for tonight. But thanks for jumping in there, Twitch. Twitchy on Twitch. Very interesting. I've had I think 4 or 5 Wastelanders pop in tonight. I guess it's just like everyone's looking to see what's going on the interwebs. Anywho, I think at some point I gotta figure out how to fix my chat so that the TikTok people can pop up down there, and not just the Twitch people. I bet there's an easy way to fix that. So we cleaned up that a little bit. So let's go back to our toolbar menu. We're almost done here. We have these buttons. We have these classes. We got it so that the icons are fixed width and height, which is great. I think what we're gonna do is hover. Right now we have the color BG neutral 800. I think I'm gonna match what we did with. We go back. Oh, I closed it. Why have I closed it? We gotta build it again. I was gonna say, I have this icon right here, this little dashboard icon. I think what I'm gonna do is make what the hover state that we did here match with this. But this is really dark, so I think we're just gonna pump up the colors a little bit as well. But we'll make it look good. We'll make it look nice. And I think that's where we're gonna end it. And then when I come back, I'll add in the action ability, and then the action's gonna start propagating the screen with the element, and we'll go from there. That might be so tomorrow I have some company coming over, so I won't be streaming tomorrow. But I may stream Thursday or Friday. I'm not quite sure yet. And then again, my big stream days are Sundays, and that's when I usually stream for like 3 or 4 hours at a chunk. But usually during the week, I'll just do like an hour or 2 hours at most, depending on how early I hop on. Because usually around 8:30, 9 o'clock, my brain just shuts down. It just says no more coding. You're done. Yeah, done. So let's see what this looks like. I'm curious. Is it just crashing? It is just crashing. It's just crashing because I was messing with this file. I thought this was supposed to be this year, but the edition has to be that, I suppose. There we go. So that's a lesson learned. That edition thing isn't supposed to be the year you're running it, but it's actually specifying a certain version of Tauri, it looks like, Or it could be rust. I don't even know what this is specifying right here. Okay, so it's still building. Okay, we'll give it a moment to build. Doop doop doop, being a web wizard, coding all day, waiting for things to bundle, waiting for things to bundle. There we go. Alright, so let's open up. I keep clicking on Banana Project. Okay, so now we can see, right? So that looks about right. Because this goes to this color, so it's a level higher. But you see how it's like not square? I don't know. That's kind of weird. So we gotta make that work for us. So that should be toolbar menu, and that's basically just going to be setting these classes again just on the, no, I guess the button's there. Min width 40, min height 40. I'm going to do P2 for padding 2, see if that does anything. Okay, yeah, now they seem squarer. I don't know. Let's do P1. I guess I gotta add in the rounded large as well. Kind of weird, but oh well. We'll live. Okay, yeah, we'll do P2. Because that'll look more aligned with our design, I think. Yeah, I like that. That feels solid. And then I'll just add in, because we have hover, so it's focus, I think it was, and we'll just go 600 for that. So I think, well, we'll see. We'll just see what it does. Because right, if I click this, yeah, that doesn't change the color. Okay, so when I put on the focus, it doesn't unfocus. So I think we'll just keep it. We'll get rid of the focus. I'll look into that. That should be fine for now. I think that might be it for now. Because I noticed my other button right now doesn't have like a click state. That's the other thing I gotta do is I had in my other build. Let's get rid of the highlight because I said I was gonna do that. What's this? Remove selection highlighting. We want to do it in Tailwind. This is not what I wanted. Is it just select none? Okay, so we're gonna add that. That's a lot of ads. Jeez. On app levels, I think we want app CSX. App CSX. Yeah, right here we'll do select none. And we'll add back in select when we actually want it to be used, because we may want it like right here, right? Okay, so it does still show it on the text here, so that's fine. Yeah, and I know I'm clicking the rest of it is not selected. So you see this button, so that's what I was kind of debating was like if I go back, I guess I close it here. I think I'm gonna add more ways to get in and out of these little elements at some point. So like I may make it so like this color changes to like that lighter blue, just so that this is not so dark all the time. Because this feels nice, but I feel like we can make it a little bit more adding a little color to it will make it feel a little bit friendlier. But that's what we wanted right now is we added a menu. The menu doesn't do anything just yet, but we'll probably make this grow as we add more icons and elements that we can do. So the idea is that you put an input, you're going to select some sort of property to it, and then you're going to give it an output. You may not even have it be an output. It may just end here. The output may just be like I may add another one where it's just an element. Um, but I think that's it for now. We're gonna have to definitely, and then like you can see like this is missing like up here. I think I have, no, I guess I don't have it there either. I think I'm gonna add in some sort of highlight on this as well, because this I feel like this feels better. How's this look? These don't have highlights, but that's fine. What's this guy? Let's just make it big. It just locks it. Yeah, it can make it big. Okay, that's good enough. Okay. I think I'm just gonna commit this work for now, and then that'll be it for tonight. So let's do a commit. Git status. Look at what we got. So let's go over this. We added some new radix elements, so that's why our package lock is different. Updated the Tauri file a little bit language-wise, so that's been updated. We added a new class to get rid of the highlighting, so that's been updated. Playbook views where we've been mostly working on to display our new toolbar menu. And then the workspace screen, we cleaned that up a little bit as well. Well, let's look at workspace screen. So I'll make sure. There's workspace screen. What did we do here? Oh yeah, I added a comment. We're gonna get rid of that comment. Actually, I think. File text. Okay, I guess I did change that. That's right. That was the first thing I did. Let me redo that. But I think we're well. No, I guess we're gonna do some sort of menu still on this, because I think what's missing in our design is how do you add new rules? We don't have that, so I think I'm gonna add some sort of plus button on the bottom of this, like another little divider. You just hit like add or something, or maybe add up here. I'm not sure yet, so I'm gonna keep that note there. I'm gonna change it to do. And I think, yeah, I think that's what we're gonna have to do is figure out some sort of button for there. Okay, so now we know what we changed here. We changed our file text icon here. I think that was the other thing, is I changed this from a span to a menu item. So that's what I like to do, is like I like to look over what I did to make sure that I know exactly what I'm committing here. And then we made this new toolbar menu component, so I think that's it. We add all those things. And it's not complete, so I'm going to say first pass. Toolbar component. You know, it wasn't much work, but visually we got something done. We can see that there's been progress made. I'm going to push this to our repo. Everything is up to date. Cool. So yeah, so that's neat. So now we got this menu. It goes under our nodes. And then the next step is going to be when you click on these guys, it'll generate new nodes onto the screen here. And then, oh, that's interesting. I'm kind of curious because now my menu items don't seem to do anything. Look, this guy. Yeah, it seems to be. Oh, because I have it locked. I have it locked. It's working as intended. I'm just being dumb. Yeah. Interesting. I didn't realize that if I locked it, it must stick some sort of overlay on there that disables clicking. That's kind of neat. So I don't know, I may just get rid of that lock button. I don't know if I want that there. Okay, cool. So it seems to be working just fine. And the next step is we're just going to make it so it tosses in new node items as you go. And then you're going to be able to rename. So like once we get to adding in these items, I think we're going to go back and hash out this node element a little bit more. So you could delete them. And then there's 3 different types. Right now we're just showing one. So we got to build out the other 2 types. And that's going to be like where these endpoints go. And we'll go from there. And then once we actually got it to save, and that's the other thing, right now it's not saving this data. So once we get this data saved, we actually got to write something that will just parse the node runner. Um, but I think next week, towards the end of, I guess mid October, we may actually hit MVP on just the now serving screen, which would be nice. And then if I could get the high score table to work quick after that, I think we'll be in a good position for what I'd like to do for what I'd like to present to people for Neotropolis, which is in May. So we're well on our way here. I just want to make sure that there's a working feedback loop first before I show this to anyone, because yeah, definitely there's a bit of vision here, and it's hard to explain the vision when it's not like a working product yet. So okay, I think that's it for now. Thank you for hanging around. Hope you learned something, or at least it was entertaining. I hope you liked my hat. I'm a code wizard today because we're in spooky times. And yeah, I'll see you Thursday maybe, or Friday or Sunday. Have a good one. Adios and good night.